Hi everybody, hello, and welcome back to the right hand side of our Timmy Folio-ish journal. So last time we made the big pocket for the base of the right hand side. This time we're going to be building onto it. It's quite a complicated page, this one. It's a quite complex flippy flappy page. So there's lots of scoring, lots of cutting, etc, etc. So we need the scoreboard. So this is my full 12 by 12 page here, and I've got it facing up. The top's there at the top of the scoreboard. And what we need to do is, and I have these written out for you, so I'll show you in a minute, have to score at 1/2 inch, and then every little pip, every eighth, until you get to 1 inch. So that's 5 score lines. There we go. And then at 5 3/4, so there, and again at 6, which gives us a little spine, and then again at 10 5/8. I know that's a weird measurement, but it just works. So 10 1/2 and 1 pip more is 10 5/8. So score that, and this piece is eventually going to be cut off. So let's just score that again there. Whoa. I find it ever so difficult over this side, given that I'm left-handed. Right, there we are. So, and then rotate to your left. So the top of my paper is now along the left-hand side of my scoreboard, and score at 3 1/4 and 3 1/2, and that's it. So it's not too bad. I'll just show you the score lines and go through them with you again. So with your paper facing the right way, so you've got your top of your paper along the top of the scoreboard, and you score at 1/2 inch, and then every 1/8 of an inch up to 1 inch, then 5 3/4 and 6, and then at 10 5/8, which is 1 little pip beyond the 10 1/2. Then rotate your paper to the left, so the top of your paper is now down the left hand side of your scoreboard, and score at 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. So there we are. I'll hold those there for you for a minute if you want to scribble them down or take a screenshot or whatever, whichever way you have of remembering them. This is one of the pages that you probably will have to watch through and then go back and have another look at it and see what I did, because the whole page itself is a little complex, but worth it, I feel. So there we are. Have we got those? Hopefully. Right, so I can now cut off this end bit. You know, we marked it at 10 5/8, so I can cut that extra little bit off there, and I have a bit of a job seeing where that is, so I'm just going to make a little pencil mark there. It's there, so let's trim that. So that's the last line that we scored in, the 10 5/8, and that's where I'm going to cut that. So make sure you're nice and square and straight. Trim that off. We've got a nice remnant there, and then we need to do some cutting. So where this inch is here, it's kind of hard for you to see. Oh, it's easier on this side, I think. Yeah, easier on this side slightly. So the score line that you put at 1 inch there, that's your inch line, and the second of these hinge marks, we need to trim this out. So not the first hinge mark that you come to, the second one. So down on the inch score line and on that bottom, you'll see when I trim it out what I've trimmed out anyway. So on that one there, come on, you can do it, up to that inch score line and then down the inch score line mark just on the outside of it, I suppose. So you're cutting all the bumps off there. There we are. So that's that bit trimmed off. And then for this side, you need to, the first score line that we made, which is there, and the bottom score mark, these are very difficult to see, which is here. So all that bit's been cut out. So let's do that. And see what we're left with, and it'll make a bit more sense to you, I think. Hopefully. There we go. Right, so we've trimmed off these two pieces. So we're left with this piece, this hingey piece, and this piece. So they all need inking round, and I can't work out at the moment which side's which, so I'm going to ink round the entire thing, and I'll come back to you, and hopefully then, once it's inked, you'll see really where the score lines are and which bits we've cut out, etc. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've inked all around that, and I think it's much more obvious now where you had to cut. So we've cut there where the inch is, all the way up that section's gone, and then here we've cut down to the inside of both of those hinges. So this is what we've got left with, this little bit here and this bit here. So now we need another piece of paper. This piece will do. I don't like him, he looks miserable. So you need the piece to be 9.5 inches wide. So let's do that. 9.5. So I'll cut it this way, and I might get rid of most of that old geezer. There we go. Make sure it's good and straight. Got a remnant there of the old fella. And we also need it to be 8.5 inches tall. So work out which side you want to keep. I think that'll make a better remnant, so I'll cut it off this way. So 8.5 inches tall. I'll write these out for you so you can have a look. Another nice remnant. Okay, so now we're down to scoring. So with the top of your paper, at the top of the scoreboard, we're going to score at 4 3/4 and 5, and that's it. This is the easy bit. So 4 3/4 and 5. But I'll just give you those dimensions so you know what I'm talking about. Pen would be useful. So you want it to be 9.5 inches wide, 8.5 inches tall and score at 4 3/4 and 5. So your piece of paper is 9.5 inches wide, 8.5 inches tall, and score at 4 3/4 and 5. And that's it. That piece is straightforward. Okay. Okay. So, like I say, you might have to watch this back again. And then I'm just going to ink round the entire shebang. Okay, so that's that all inked round. I think it's more obvious to you now what I've been doing. It's just a piece of paper 9.5 inches wide, 8.5 inches tall, with a spine there that we can flippy flappy over. So you're getting a clue as to what's happening here. So let's bring in the first paper that we had, which has got this weird bit at the top. Now that is going to form a pocket on here. So that's going to be our attachment point for this top flippy flappy. So let's attach it. And it needs to be attached to this side, you know, to the front side. Because if you attach it to the back side like that, when you flippy flappy everything over, you haven't got a pocket, you've got a top tuck. That might be what you want, but it's not what I want. So it's going on the front there. So let's just pop some glue around there. And then we can get it all joined up. Just checking. I'm just going to put a little bit along the bottom. So that's that, and this goes on top of there. So just steering clear of the spine just a little bit. Let's just turn that over and make sure we're clear of the spine, so I'm not impeding that folding. So there we go, that's that. Give that a good press down. There we are. Right, so what we've got now is this, which is a bit unwieldy, but what happens is, ostensibly, this folds in there, and it folds down there, and this folds over the top. And that's our just looking at that looks a little long to me. It's just a little bit long when that folds over like that. Just needs to be there, which is right with the spine at the top. You get the spine straight, that is fine. Yeah, so I think we're okay. We had a power cut last night. We went out and when we came back there was no power on. Yeah, so I think that's alright. I was debating whether or not just to take a whisker off there. Excuse me, and actually I think I will. It does fit, it fits perfectly, but I think I'd feel happier if I just took a whisker off it. By a whisker I mean about 1/4 inch. So I think that'll look better when there's nothing in it. Once we've packed it out with the ephemera and stuff, it would probably be alright, but let's not take a chance, eh? So I'll just ink around there. Ink around the other side. I must admit, when I was thinking this one up, it was slightly brain contorted. It's getting the hinges, it's working out how you're going to attach things. That's the complex bit. Right, so there we are. That folds over there. That folds down to there. Yeah, you see, it's it's short, but that's fine. That looks nice. And then this folds over there, and that gets attached to the doodah. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's fine. That hinge has just been awkward. Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. Right, so I'm going to leave it there for today, only because there's quite a bit of fiddling around and getting your head sorted, you know, what goes where. This now is a pocket. And if I had something to stick in it, I'd show you. There. So this, we've made ourselves a pocket on the point that we've connected the two pieces. So that, get off, that goes like that, that goes like that, that goes like that, that gets stuck to the envelope, so everything in the garden is rosy. Okay, so I'll see you the next time, and we'll put all the pockets and stuff on here. So it won't be long. See you soon. Try and keep up. Bye for now.